You've probably tried cutting carbs, skipping sweets, and even avoiding fruit, but your blood sugar levels still spike and fall like a roller coaster. What if I told you there's an inexpensive herb that's quietly helping diabetics reduce these fluctuations by over 90%? And no, it's not some rare plant from another continent. It's right there in your kitchen or just a few steps away at your local supermarket. Doctors are starting to recommend it because the results are quick and surprisingly powerful. Today I'll show you what this herb is and how to use it easily. But first, subscribe to the channel because the food I'll be sharing tomorrow, you won't even know how much it's helping diabetic patients. Just click the button below and subscribe. If you've been living with diabetes for a while, you know the frustration of doing everything right and still seeing your blood sugar spike. It can feel like your body is working against you, even when you're trying your best. But sometimes, the answer is not another pill. It's something simple that's been sitting in your kitchen all along. Basil, the same herb you might use in cooking, has shown surprising benefits for people with diabetes. It's cheap, easy to use, and backed by research. And most importantly, it's gentle on the body. Basil is more than just a flavor in pasta sauce. This herb has been used for centuries in traditional medicine for a reason. Recent studies show it can help regulate blood sugar by improving insulin function and reducing inflammation. That means fewer spikes after meals and more stable numbers throughout the day. For older adults, especially those over 60, that stability can make a huge difference. Imagine going a whole day without that dizzy or sleepy feeling. That's what basil might help with. A clinical trial in India followed diabetic patients using dried basil powder daily. The results were impressive. Fasting blood sugar levels dropped, and the patients reported feeling more energetic. One woman said she was able to walk farther without getting tired. Another man said he could finally sleep through the night without waking up sweaty. These are real stories from real people. And they didn't change their whole lives. They just added basil. You don't need to take supplements to get the benefits of basil. In fact, the best results often come from using the fresh or dried herb in everyday meals. That's good news, because it's affordable and available in almost every grocery store. You can chop it into salads, add it to soups, or make a quick tea. And unlike many diabetic products, basil has no side effects. It's safe, natural, and tastes great. Making basil tea is one of the easiest ways to start. Just boil 1 cup of water, add a few fresh basil leaves or a teaspoon of dried basil, and let it steep for 10 minutes. You can drink it warm or cold, and even add a slice of lemon for flavor. Many seniors say it helps with digestion, eases stress, and makes them feel more clear-headed. If you're tired of bitter teas or complicated recipes, this is a simple option. Another great idea is adding basil to your morning smoothie. Blend a handful of spinach, half a cucumber, a few basil leaves, and a splash of unsweetened almond milk. It's refreshing and helps fill you up without causing a sugar spike. If you're someone who feels shaky before lunch or tired after breakfast, this kind of drink could make your mornings easier. Plus, you get fiber and hydration in 1 glass. You might wonder, how much basil should I use? For most people, 1 to 2 teaspoons of dried basil or a few fresh leaves per day is enough. You don't need to overload, just be consistent. Try to include it in at least 1 meal or drink daily. Over time, that small habit can help your body respond better to insulin. And better insulin response means steadier energy, fewer crashes, and better sleep at night. Some people ask if basil interacts with medications. The good news is that basil is considered very safe for most seniors. It doesn't thin the blood, raise pressure, or upset the stomach. Of course, if you're taking strong medications, always check with your doctor. But most doctors actually support adding herbs like basil to a healthy routine. It shows you're being proactive with your care. If you enjoy cooking, basil is one of the easiest herbs to add. Sprinkle it on scrambled eggs, mix it into homemade salad dressings, or stir it into vegetable soup. It adds flavor without sugar, salt, or fat. And that's a big win for a diabetes-friendly diet. Many people say it helps them enjoy vegetables more, which makes healthy eating feel like less of a chore. Fresh basil can also be grown at home in a small pot. It loves sunlight and needs only light watering. Having it in your kitchen makes it easy to snip a few leaves when cooking or making tea. Plus, there's something special about growing your own food, even a small amount. It brings a sense of peace and control, something that matters a lot when dealing with a condition like diabetes. You may not notice a dramatic change overnight, but many people report feeling more balanced after just a few days. That means fewer sugar crashes, more energy, and a clearer mind. One man from Florida said he no longer felt dizzy in the afternoons after using Basil for a week. Another woman in her 70s said her morning blood sugar readings improved without changing her medication. Basil also supports inflammation control. In diabetes, inflammation can damage cells and lead to complications. But basil contains natural anti-inflammatory compounds like eugenol, which help reduce that risk. That's especially helpful for older adults dealing with joint pain, swelling, or brain fog. When your body is less inflamed, it works better, from head to toe. Let's talk about your heart for a moment. High blood sugar often comes with high blood pressure and cholesterol. Basil helps in all three areas. It supports blood flow, relaxes vessels, and helps your body use fats more efficiently. That's a big deal for people trying to avoid statins or reduce their medication load. Small herbs can bring big results when used the right way. If you ever get bored with plain water, try this. Add a few basil leaves to your water bottle with a slice of orange or lemon. Let it sit for 20 minutes. It becomes a flavorful drink that hydrates and supports your blood sugar at the same time. That's an easy switch from sugary juices or artificial sweeteners, both of which can spike your glucose and leave you drained. Some older adults say basil even helps with appetite control. That's important if you tend to overeat when stressed or tired. Just chewing on a fresh basil leaf can have a calming effect and reduce cravings. Others say the aroma alone helps them feel more grounded and less anxious. And when you feel calm, your sugar levels tend to follow. There's also a spiritual aspect for some people. Herbs like basil have been used for healing, cleansing, and emotional strength in many cultures. Adding it to your daily routine can feel like more than a health step. It can feel like a form of self-care. When you take time to prepare a basil tea or meal, you're sending your body a message: I care for you. Now, let's get practical. If you buy dried basil, choose organic when possible and store it in a dark glass jar away from heat. That helps preserve its natural oils and flavor. If it smells weak or dusty, it's probably too old. Fresh basil should be bright green and not slimy. Wash it well, pat dry, and store it in the fridge wrapped in a paper towel. For those with arthritis or joint pain, basil may provide extra comfort. Its compounds help reduce swelling and stiffness, which are common complaints among seniors. When your joints hurt less, it's easier to stay active, and activity helps with blood sugar. Everything is connected. That's why herbs like basil offer more than just one benefit. If you enjoy gardening, consider planting basil next to tomatoes. They grow well together and even enhance each other's flavors. Gardening can also reduce stress, increase movement, and improve mental health. Those are all critical factors for people managing chronic conditions. And the reward is fresh, healing herbs right at your fingertips. Let me ask you something. Have you ever used basil regularly and noticed a difference in how you feel? If so, comment the word basil below. Sharing your experience might help someone else who's feeling lost or overwhelmed. We're building a community here. One small habit, one kind message at a time. No one has to face diabetes alone. When used daily, basil becomes a quiet support system. It doesn't demand much but gives back plenty. It's not flashy, but it's reliable. And in a world full of noise and confusion, that kind of support matters. You deserve simple tools that make your life easier, not harder. Basil is one of those tools. Even if you're skeptical, give it a try for 7 days. Add it to meals, sip a tea, or flavor your water. Pay attention to your body and see what changes. Write it down, then look back after a week. You might be surprised by how much better you feel, not just in numbers, but in peace of mind. There's no harm in trying something natural, affordable, and backed by science. Basil has stood the test of time in kitchens and clinics. Now it's your turn to let it support your journey. You've done harder things before. Adding basil is easy, and it just might help you feel like yourself again. If you're ready to start, you don't have to do it alone. This channel is here to walk with you. Subscribe for more tips that make managing diabetes simpler and less overwhelming. Let's keep building habits that feel good, taste good, and actually help. Start with basil, and stay tuned for what comes next. If you've ever opened your spice drawer and ignored the rosemary, you might be missing a powerful ally for diabetes. This fragrant herb, often saved for roasted chicken or holiday meals, has surprising health benefits, especially for seniors. Rosemary isn't just about flavor. It helps the body regulate blood sugar, reduce inflammation, and even sharpen the mind. For someone dealing with diabetes every single day, that's not something to overlook. It's affordable, easy to use, and works naturally with your body. Researchers have discovered that rosemary contains compounds that act directly on insulin sensitivity. That means your body may use insulin more effectively, leading to steadier blood sugar levels. One study showed that people who consumed rosemary daily experienced fewer spikes after meals. That's a big win, especially for those who feel lightheaded, tired, or jittery after eating. If your numbers swing wildly throughout the day, rosemary might help smooth the ride. A 2020 study published in the Journal of Traditional and Complementary Medicine found that rosemary extract helped lower blood sugar and cholesterol in people with type 2 diabetes. The active compounds, carnosic acid and rosmarinic acid, are antioxidants that help fight inflammation, protect the pancreas, and support heart health. These benefits aren't reserved for supplements. Just using rosemary in your kitchen can start making a real difference. Have you ever had rosemary tea? It's soothing, flavorful, and easy to prepare. All you need is a teaspoon of dried rosemary or one small sprig of fresh, steeped in hot water for 10 to 15 minutes. The aroma alone can calm your nerves and relax your muscles. Many seniors say this tea helps them sleep better and feel less bloated. If you're tired of bitter or tasteless diabetic teas, rosemary is a refreshing change. Another easy way to use rosemary is in infused water. Boil a small amount of rosemary in water, let it cool, and then store it in the fridge with slices of lemon or cucumber. Drink it throughout the day instead of juice or soda. It's refreshing, blood sugar friendly, and supports kidney health. Some seniors say this drink has helped them reduce cravings and feel more hydrated without the sugar crashes. If you enjoy cooking, rosemary can easily become part of your daily meals. Rub it onto meats, mix it into olive oil for roasted vegetables, or sprinkle it over eggs and soups. It blends beautifully with garlic, lemon, and thyme. Even one small pinch adds depth of flavor without raising your blood sugar. You don't need to cook like a chef, just keep it simple and consistent. Fresh rosemary is often sold in bundles at the grocery store, but it also grows well at home. It loves sunlight and doesn't require much watering. Having a pot on your windowsill can give you fresh herbs anytime you need them. Just snip a small sprig, wash it, and use it right away. It's not just healthy, it's satisfying to use something you've grown yourself. Some older adults worry about safety, but rosemary is considered very gentle. It doesn't raise blood pressure or interfere with most medications. In fact, many doctors encourage their diabetic patients to add herbs like rosemary to their diet. It helps reduce reliance on salt and sugar for flavor and offers real support to your body's natural systems. Always talk to your doctor, but this herb is widely approved. Beyond blood sugar, rosemary also helps with memory and concentration. That's why it's often called the herb of remembrance. People with diabetes sometimes experience brain fog or trouble focusing, especially in the afternoon. Rosemary's natural oils can stimulate brain activity and reduce mental fatigue. Try drinking rosemary tea before reading, writing, or doing puzzles. It might sharpen your mind while calming your nerves. There's also a link between rosemary and digestion. It helps stimulate bile flow and reduces gas or bloating, common issues for many seniors. A healthy gut supports better glucose absorption, which means fewer spikes and dips. You can even chew a small rosemary leaf after meals to freshen your breath and ease digestion. It's a simple tip, but one that many older adults swear by. Another use: a rosemary foot soak. Boil water, pour it into a basin, and add a few sprigs of rosemary. Soak your feet for 15 to 20 minutes. It helps with circulation, relaxes sore muscles, and can ease swelling. For diabetics who deal with cold feet or nerve pain, this ritual can be both soothing and therapeutic. Add Epsom salt for extra relief. Rosemary can even lift your mood. The scent has been used in aromatherapy to reduce anxiety, which is important because stress can raise blood sugar levels. Keep a small sachet of dried rosemary near your bed or desk and breathe it in during tense moments. It might seem small, but emotional calmness often leads to physical balance, especially with diabetes. If you like salad dressings, try making one at home with rosemary. Mix olive oil, vinegar, a small clove of garlic, chopped fresh rosemary, and a pinch of black pepper. Pour it over steamed vegetables or salads. It's much healthier than store-bought dressings filled with sugar and preservatives, and it gives you another way to include rosemary in your daily routine. Have you ever noticed how certain smells bring back memories or make you feel safe? Rosemary has that effect on many people. It's earthy, warm, and comforting. For someone managing diabetes, small moments of comfort matter. Whether it's a cup of tea or the smell of rosemary in the kitchen, these experiences support both body and soul. One woman in Texas shared that after adding rosemary to her daily tea, she started sleeping better and waking up with more energy. Her blood sugar readings were steadier, and she felt less anxious throughout the day. It didn't cure her diabetes, but it made her feel like she had more control. And that kind of change is powerful, especially when it comes from something so simple. Some people say it's just a spice. How much can it really help? But when you use rosemary every day, the results speak for themselves. Better digestion, steadier sugar, more clarity. It adds up. The key is not one big change, but small, repeated choices that support your health gently and consistently. Rosemary fits that role beautifully. Try this. For the next 7 days, make a cup of rosemary tea each evening. Write down how you feel before and after. Note your sleep, your sugar levels, and your energy the next morning. This small experiment could show you just how effective a little herb can be. And it gives you something positive to focus on. A new habit with a big impact. Even if you don't like tea, just adding rosemary to your cooking counts. You're giving your body tools to manage glucose, reduce inflammation, and support healing. You deserve support that's natural, affordable, and easy to maintain. Rosemary gives you all three, and it tastes amazing too. If you're someone who feels overwhelmed by health changes, start small. Don't worry about being perfect. Add rosemary to one meal, one drink, one tea. Then see what happens. These are steps forward, and that's what matters most. Movement in the right direction, no matter how slow, is still progress. Comment below with the word rosemary if you've tried this herb before or plan to start now. Let others know what worked for you. Your tip could help another person feel less alone or less confused. This is a community, and your voice matters. Every little bit we share makes the path easier for someone else. Your health journey deserves more than just struggle and rules. It deserves warmth, flavor, and hope. Rosemary offers all of that in one simple sprig, so don't overlook it. Bring it into your kitchen, your teacup, or your garden. Let it be a reminder that nature still has gentle solutions waiting for us. Now that you've seen what basil and rosemary can do, you might be thinking, why didn't anyone tell me this sooner? These herbs are not only powerful, they're also affordable, gentle, and easy to add to your routine. But that's just the beginning. If you really want to see better results in your blood sugar and feel more confident about your meals, there's something you absolutely need to watch next. Right now, I'm leaving on the screen a video that reveals the top foods seniors are using to stabilize their blood sugar quickly, and some surprising mistakes that might be holding you back. Most people never hear about these strategies because they're simple, natural, and don't involve expensive products. But once you know them, everything starts to make sense. Don't miss this next video. It could be the missing link in your diabetes journey. If you skip it, you might miss a small change that creates a huge shift in your health. Click and watch it now while it's fresh in your mind. See you there.